Okay, in this video we're going to take a look at how we create the add or edit product form. So to start things off, we're going to need to make a new form. So you right click on the coffee shop solution explorer, add, and again this is going to be off the side of your screen, but choose Windows form. When that loads up, we need to give the form a more meaningful name, so we're just going to call this one add product. And check Windows form selected and then just press add, and that will give us a new form in our project with the correct name. I'm going to just do a few customizations first. One, I want to try and get the icon and the text looking a bit better, so I'm going to bring up the properties of this form here, and the text for the top there I'm just going to put a space in that because that will make that look a little bit better. And I'm going to scroll down and find the icon, and I'm just going to change that to my chosen coffee shop icon. So it might look a bit big at the moment, but let me just shrink that down, pictures, and there's my coffee mug icon, and you can see that that's just been replaced there at the top. So once those things have been done, I need to choose what fields and what controls I'm going to use. So I'm just going to put the properties out of the way for a moment there and just bring up the toolbox. Okay, so if I click on the form, you can see all the tools I've got available. First thing I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need a couple of labels, and I'm just going to drag a label onto there. This is going to be for my description, so I'll need a text box to go with it. And you can see I can just line things up using the guidelines there. I'm going to need a label to store the price, and I'm just going to use a text box for that as well. I'm going to have category, and for that I want to be able to choose from a list, so I'm going to use a combo box for the category there. And again, I'll need a label just for that. I'm just going to put them on basically for a minute and sort them out later. I want to be able to have an image for representing the product, so again I'm just going to drag that on, and I'm going to go and find the image control, so that will just be down here. So drag the picture box on and pop it a bit smaller. I'm also going to require a save button to save the record and a button to upload. So quickly what I'm going to do is just change all of these to the correct descriptions and give them all names, so I'll skip through this fairly quickly. Okay, now that we've got all of the form laid out, what I'm going to do is just change this so that we can say fit whatever image to the size. So I'm just going to go stretch image. That will mean that the image that we put in here will stay the exact same size. So what we're going to do is just save that, and the first part of this is to get the data that we're going to be able to populate the category with. So to do that, firstly what we're going to do is we're going to go in and actually put some code behind this. So simple way is to press F7 and drop in behind the form. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a variable that's going to be private, and it's going to hold our coffee shop entity, and I'm just going to call that CSE and make a new version of that. So that will basically give us our connection to the database. So once we've done that, the next thing to do really is when the form is created, after all of the controls that have been put on, so with the initialized component, ideally I'm going to want my combo box to be filled with data. To do that is really easy with the entity model. All we're going to need to do is reference our combo box. So there it is, combo box category, and we put the dot there. And the first thing we want to do is set the data source, and we're going to set the data source to be our coffee shop entity, and you can see all the different methods and properties that we've got here. But if we scroll down and have a look, you should be able to see the various options and go and find our tables. So what I want to do is find, here we go, and there's the product types. So I want to make the data source equal to the product types from the database. I'm also going to want to here put a display member in, and that's going to be what's displayed there, so I want that to say description. And basically what that is there, the display member is looking in the product database and taking description field and making that the thing to display within the combo box. So just to show you what I mean by that, if I go back into the Server Explorer and go and take our database again, if I just open that up for a second, you'll see within our tables, if I go and have a look at my product type here, if you remember, description was what I called the attribute there, so that would be the name that I would put here if I want to display that within the combo box. So on the next line as well, I'm going to put another combo box, so combo category, and this time I'm going to set the value member, which is, whoops, daisy, combo category. I'm going to set the value member, if I can get it, do it properly this time. So value member, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to set that to be the actual product type. So that's going to give me the ID of the product, because if you remember, product type here is the actual the key for that table. So there we go. So it's going to get the data out from the database, it's going to set the display member, so what's visible, to be description, and hopefully the value member, which is the actual key, to be product type. And I'm just going to save that. Next step really is to then just test this out. The only thing is I need some product types in my database, so I'm going to pop some data in there. I'm just going to right click over here, make sure you're in Server Explorer if you can't see this. I'm going to show the table data, and I'm just going to put in a couple of product types. Remember, that's an auto number, so I'm going to have hot drinks, I'm going to put in cold drinks, and I'm also going to put in there food. Okay, so that should just about do that. If you get one of these red boxes, sometimes you just need to run the query again. Oops, just put that back in there. That should hopefully, yeah, that's saved in there nicely now. So we've got some products there. So if we go back to our form, our add product form, hopefully now when we run this, what we should get, if I just go back into the code here, is a combo box which is now connected to our database through the entity model. Okay, now that we've got that in there, we're just going to need to see if this works, and we're going to need to run this piece of code. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the original form that was created, form 1 with the solution, just to basically launch the code. So if I go onto the form design, I've got a button on there already from a previous piece of code, so I'm just going to go inside of that, and I'm just going to create a new version of add product. So all I need to do there is say add product, which is the name of the form there, and I'm just going to call that add product equals new add product. Okay, and all I'm going to do is get that to show, so add product dot show, and when we press that button there, hopefully we should get some working code. So we'll give that a go, and we'll just press the play button. There's our form, press our button, hopefully our new form should load. It's loading up there, which is good. There we go, so add products appeared, and hopefully if everything's worked, there's our category list now bound with the data from the entity model.